Amanda Bynes first captured our hearts back in 1996 when she made her debut on the Nickelodeon sketch comedy show, All That.
I just want to tell y'all how happy and perky I am to be joining the cast of All That. We're all going to have such fun.
Other Nickelodeon stars like Keith Mitchell and Kenan Thompson were also on the show before getting their own spin-off on Nickelodeon, Kenan and Kel.
Who loves orange soda?
I love orange soda. On the show, Amanda played a lot of different characters, an innocent schoolgirl, a not-so-superhero sidekick, and an over-the-top drama queen. Eventually, Amanda ended up getting her own segment on the show called Ask Ashley, where she'd answer fan mail from the viewers about really specific tasks and would mostly give crazy, over-the-top advice. Amanda spent 4 years on All That. During that time, she also became a regular member of another Nickelodeon show, Figure It Out, a children's panel game show where a celebrity panel made up of stars from other Nickelodeon shows would have to figure out why the contestants are on the show, the panel being limited to yes or no questions.
Did you invent something that has to do with a car? Nope.
And in true Nickelodeon fashion, the show ended in someone getting slimed. My dream growing up was going to the Kids' Choice Awards and getting covered in green slime. In the same year, Amanda turned 13 and starred in the All That spin-off, the self-titled Amanda Show. The Amanda Show was a live-action sketch comedy show, pretty much being a Saturday Night Live for tweens. The show consisted of Amanda playing different characters like Judge Trudy, a parody of the real-life courtroom show Judge Judy, where kids could take their parents to court for cutting their allowance and giving them apples at Halloween instead of candy.
I had to sell our house. It's the only way I could get enough money to go to Doozyland.
That makes perfect sense.
He took 30 of his friends in a limo!
If this existed when I was a kid, I would have took my parents for everything. But most famously, her character Courtney, a socially awkward girl who freaked out anyone in her path. My favorite Courtney moment is when Courtney started grabbing her piano tutor's tongue.
My tongue.
The Courtney character was most famous for her line. And looking back, I think Courtney might have had Tourette's. We were just too young to notice. The Amanda Show is where we were introduced to future Nickelodeon stars like Drake Bell and Josh Peck from Drake and Josh. The Amanda Show only lasted 3 years, from October 19th, 1999 to September 21st, 2002. During that time, Amanda won 4 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Television Actress, all for The Amanda Show and All That. Like most child stars, she wanted to pursue a career in the mainstream film world. She started doing just that. In 2006, she appeared in the sports comedy She's the Man alongside Channing Tatum, where she pretends to be her brother to play on the school's boys soccer team.
Why do I get the feeling you don't do this very often?
Man, I'm not really good at talking to girls.
Why? You're hot.
What?
Later in 2007, she played Penny Pingleton in the musical comedy Hairspray. I loved Hairspray, alongside Hollywood superstar Zac Efron. In the same year, she teamed up with Stephen Barry, a popular American clothing chain, to release her own fashion line called Dear. But the dream didn't last long when Stephen Barry went bye-bye. Oh dear. Amanda's next film, Sydney White, a modern-day Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, ended up being a flop, with comments like, quickly descends into tedious schmaltz, and Sydney White's outstanding lack of positive attributes cements its place as an utterly worthless endeavor. For the next few years, she bounced from one acting job to another. In 2008, she made an appearance in the movie Living Proof. In 2009, she was supposed to star in a movie called Postgrad, but dropped out for no reason and was quickly replaced by an actress that I still haven't heard of. In 2010, she was in the movie Easy A with Emma Stone, where she played your typical popular and judgmental high school girl.
You're going to hell. Just as long as you won't be there.
I can assure you, I won't.
Stereotypes exist for a reason, believe me. The film actually did really well and was a commercial success. Amanda's career was finally on the trajectory she'd always hoped for. Later that year, she started filming what would become an extremely successful movie, Hall Pass. But in Amanda fashion, she dropped out of the film and was replaced by Alexandra Daddario. If we're being honest, it's not a bad replacement. It was July of that year Amanda said she was taking a hiatus from acting. This is when things really started going downhill for Amanda. During her break from the spotlight, Amanda became all too friendly with law enforcement. In 2012, she got charged with driving under the influence in West Hollywood. According to TMZ, she was attempting to pass a cop car, but she ended up hitting the vehicle instead. 2 years later, all charges were dropped and she received 3 years probation. The perks of having a really, really expensive Hollywood lawyer. In May 2013, Bynes was charged with reckless endangerment and possession of marijuana.
The story is that you threw a bong and items out the window. Is that true, Amanda?
After she was found smoking in the lobby of her apartment building in Manhattan. When the police entered her building, she allegedly threw the bong out the window. A year later, the judge had the case dismissed. Soon after, in July 2013, Amanda allegedly started a fire in a stranger's driveway in Thousand Oaks, California, where she accidentally soaked her Pomeranian in gasoline. According to a witness, she stripped off her pants to chase her dog down the street.
I saw this girl laying down right here with her left pant leg on fire. I quickly pulled over, and there's this gas can right here, and it's trailing fire.
If you were driving home from school and you saw the girl from the Amanda Show running down your street with no pants on, what do you do? TMZ obtained footage of her wandering into a liquor store nearby, making her way to the staff-only entrance to rinse the gasoline off the dog. You'd be happy to know Sherbert, the Pomeranian, was taken far away after Amanda was placed on the 5150 psychiatric hold that summer. Who in their right mind calls their dog Sherbert? In August 2013, Amanda's mother was granted a temporary conservatorship over her. It was made permanent in October 2014. Later that month, she started to accuse her dad of abuse in a series of tweets, saying things like, "My dad fondled himself in front of me, and he called me ugly and asked if I wanted to have." She accused him of sexual assault and getting a microchip installed in her brain against her will. Soon after, she went on to apologize in another series of tweets, saying that that wasn't true. In 2018, Amanda claimed she was sober for 4 years with the help of her parents. According to an interview, she said she heavily experimented with cocaine and MDMA, but the drug she abused the most was Adderall, a prescription drug mainly used for ADHD. During that time, Amanda decided to get a face tattoo of a black lined heart on her cheek. That was the start of her SoundCloud rap career. If that were true, that would have been the greatest moment in hip-hop history. The conservatorship lasted from 2013 to August 2018. Paperwork was filed to prolong the conservatorship to August 2022 and was granted. During that time, Amanda attended FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. Later in 2019, she graduated with her associate's degree. In February 2020, Amanda went public with her boyfriend, soon-to-be fiancé, Paul Michael. This seems to be a loving and healthy relationship Amanda desperately needed. In February of this year, she filed papers to end the conservatorship. Attorneys representing her parents stated they supported her in ending it. After 9 years of being in a conservatorship, it was officially lifted in March 2022. Since the news of her conservatorship ending became public, Amanda hasn't seeked out the limelight like she's done in the past. Who knows what's next for Amanda? Maybe she'll get back into acting, pursue her mainstream film dream. She might use her degree in fashion to start a clothing line. Who knows, maybe she'll start a podcast like literally every other Hollywood star. She's definitely got plenty of entertaining stories to tell.